And a very good afternoon. I hope you are all well, and a good morning if you're joining us from stateside, or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us across the globe. My name is Craig Laird, and I'm with you at the same time, 12 p.m. here in the UK, or for you guys stateside, 7 a.m. Eastern Time, 4 a.m. Pacific Time. We are back onto our normal time schedule because of our clocks went forward yesterday. Did you have a good weekend? I hope you did. I had a nice chilled weekend, raring to go for today because we've got a jam-packed day lined up as we usually do on Crafters TV. We're going to be kickstarting with our launch day, and then we're going over into Monday Makers. But do you know what? You know who I've got with me today who's going to speed us through everything to expect today, and it is Joe. Joe's back. Hiya!
Oh, hello Craig, such a pleasure to be back here with you on the Wake Up Call. And also remember, because we are still in the month of March, we're going to have that fantastic National Craft Month giveaway. All you need to do in order to be in with a chance of winning this gorgeous bounty of products is just comment in any one of our shows today and we'll pop you into the draw. We'll draw that winner at 7 p.m. later this evening. So in our Monday Makers show is where you need to make sure you tune in, see if you are the lucky winner. Right, of course, it's all about Wake Up Call today, but we do have great craft vault deals, and what we're going to actually do, because the savings are so juicy today, we're going to sort of scatter them throughout the Wake Up Call, which is going to be awesome. So you'll see the craft vault deals featured all throughout our Wake Up Call, all the way through the next 90 minutes, which will be absolutely fantastic. But don't worry, we'll still have all the amazing chit chat. There's still going to be all the fun previews as well as to what is coming up for the rest of the day. And on that note, previews, Craig, loads to look forward to today, isn't there?
There really is lots of things, as you say, and one of the things that we're actually going to be focusing on is our nesting dies. But these aren't just any nesting dies, these are our zigzag inverted nested dies. So many different ways you could use them, not just for your toppers. What you're getting within these ones here, you're actually getting 32 elements. Here in the UK, $33.96, for you guys stateside, $44.03. You're even getting a saving over 15% already. This is where, so you can see on your screen right now, this is where you're getting your 32 elements. You've got all the zigzags, but you've got the plain matte and layer dies that's going to complement. They're going to be able to cut in, cut out your cardstock. Maybe you're going to use them for your stamps. Maybe you're going to use them for the toppers. Lots of different ways that you can actually be using them. And one of the ways is one of the ways we're going to be using them in Wake Up Call to show you some of the different things. But they are going to be featured on Monday Makers, which is myself and Joe, 7 p.m. here in the UK, for you guys stateside, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time. But that's not the only ones that we've got on the show as well. Maybe you don't really want the zigzag. Maybe you want something that's more nice and evenly flowing. And we've got the scalloped when it comes to these ones here. So what you're able to do with these, exactly the same idea as the zigzag, but within these ones, these are the scalloped inverted nest and die collection. There you go. You can see them on your screen right now. 4 different packs, but you're getting 32 elements in total. Also, $33.96 here in the UK, $44.03 for you guys stateside. If you are across in Europe, do check out your website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. So as I say, everything that I already picked upon when it comes to the actual zigzag, you can do exactly the same when it comes to these scallops. We're going to be showing you also in Wake Up Call what you can be doing with them, but we are also going to be featuring them maybe more in an Easter themed later on today on Monday Makers, same time as I just picked upon a moment ago. But what we do also have is a launch day of Sarah's signature collection. This is the Vintage Diary collection. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is possibly my new favourite Sarah's signature collection. It's beat vintage lace in my books. This is our Vintage Diary complete collection, 79 elements in total. You're also getting your 3 12x12 paper pads and a 6x6 pad as well. So within these ones here, what you're doing is you're getting your 12x12 pattern, you're getting your 12x12 vellum, and you're also getting your 12x12 cardstock. You're getting your 6x6 pad on total. £142 here in the UK, $195 for you guys stateside. What I want you to do is have a look at that saving that you're already getting even before your Club Inspire. That is a whopper. So change about, you know, myself and Sarah were saying last week that we are going to be splitting the show. Change about, and you've now got her for the full launch day show. So that is then going to be Joe and Sarah for the full launch day of our brand new signature collection, 3 p.m. here in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time, and you're going to see lots and lots of ideas and inspiration when it comes to them. But don't go far, because I'm also going to show you my take on the vintage diary right here on Wake Up Call this morning. So do check up with these ones here. But what we're doing is we're mixing it up a little bit. So to go over it in a wee bit more detail and show you some other deals that you might want to get in the middle of Wake Up Call, let's go across to Joe, who's got a lot of things across. Actually, you do have a lot of things on here. The other side, Joe?
I do indeed, and I have some juicy discounts, which is always awesome. A lot of you chatting away with us already today. I can see Mandy Doodle Hands on YouTube saying hello. Hope everyone's had a wonderful weekend. I know I certainly did. I hope all of you did too. Evelyn is saying hi from Colorado. Shelley is saying hi from Michigan. Laurie's in Ohio. And Maria's here as well from Devon. If you want to get social with us, you can do so in all the normal ways. Crafters TV across on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you are watching us on YouTube, so you never need to miss out on any of our awesome shows. Now, there are fantastic deals for you in the Craft Vault today. As always, I would suggest getting yourself over to the website, clicking that Shop the Show button and having a look at all of the awesome things that are coming up. I want to kick you off though with this awesome collection, because what I've got here is the 8x8 Floral Delights paper pad, and you're also going to get that with the awesome lavender Centura Pearl. And what you've got in here is page after page of gorgeous floral papers. 54 sheets in there, 180 GSM. It's in the 8x8 size, and you've got that gorgeous lavender there too. If you're in the UK, £6.49 or £9.72. However, Platinum members, £5.19 or $7.78 if you want to get your hands on that one. Very busy for that, very busy for all the other deals as well, which I'll take you through as we go through the rest of this Wake Up Call versus Craft Vault, as I am calling it. But Craig, I know you've got loads that you want to share with us in today's show.
I really do. Because it's now jam-packed and we've got lots of things to show you throughout the show, let's get stuck in. So what we're going to do within this one here is we're going to have a look at the Floral Delights. This is the 8x8 paper pad. And then what I'm also going to do is I was trying to think, what could we do to show you how you can use the paper pads, whether you're stamping, die cutting, etc., etc. So I thought what we'll do is we'll bring in one of these pattern papers. So we can see this is the one that I have gone for already. And I like this one because you've got this open frame within the middle. So you could always cut an aperture if you want. You can maybe put a photo down that you can see within the middle. So what we can do is, you'll be able to see it just coming up in a moment or two. We've got this open frame in the middle here. Lots of ways you can do it. Fussy cut round it if you want to. I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is let's bring in our tape runner, and I am going to do a bit of matting and layering. So I've already trimmed this down to 7 1/4 by 7 1/4, and so that I could make it even all the way round, instead of just cutting off 3/4 of an inch at one side, 3/4 of an inch at the bottom, I've kind of evened it on all 4 sides so we still get that symmetrical shape. And then I'm going to use my tape runner. So this is then going to get matted and layered onto that gorgeous lilac cardstock or lavender cardstock. So what I can do is I can pop this one in, and you'll see I've already done my mats and layers. So just to let you know, if you're relatively new to us or our shows, this is layer 7 1/4, as I explained a moment ago. Then what I've done is our lavender cardstock, I've done that one to 7 1/2 inch. I couldn't even remember there, and I only just measured it a minute ago. 7 1/2 by 7 1/2. Then what I've also done is I've taken some of our textured green cardstock. This is from our warm tones, and for this one I've also gone up 1/4 of an inch to 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. So we can then layer this one on here. Now this is where, with a paper pad like this, you can then start to incorporate all your other stamps, your die cuts, maybe your foil press stamps as well, to be your centre part. I've chosen to keep it relatively large, but what you could do is you can trim it down. You know, you could trim it to 7 by 7, 6 by 6, 4.5 by 3.5. You can trim it to whichever size that you want. So what I've done is, you know me and my 8 by 8 cards, I've popped it onto an 8 by 8 card here. Then what I've also done, for many of you that have already got our past silhouette animal dies, I've taken one of these ones, and this one happens to be from the rabbit silhouette. So I've already cut this one to 4 by 4 inches, and I've created the aperture using the rabbit. I thought I would go rabbit simply because it's coming up to Easter theme. So this is where I've die cut into the middle here. What I've then also done is, from the same paper pad that you are getting, I've taken some of this blue polka dot. So let's see if I can find it. Oh, there's my excess here. Let's have a look and see. There we go. So I've taken that from this bit. And what I've also done is I've trimmed it just a little bit smaller than 4 by 4, because I want to see the blue polka dots, but I don't want to see any mats and layers. Then what I've done is I've taken another piece of the green, and I've cut this one to 4.25 by 4.25. So that's going to mat and layer all the way round. But before I stick this together, what I want to do is I want to get some of my red liner tape, and I've also brought in a little bit of acetate. So let's go into my little bag of goodies. Excuse the rustling. It's like sitting at the cinema and someone's in it, they're picking mix sweet while you're trying to watch the film. Although it's been a while since I think it's been a while since anyone's been at the cinema, isn't it? So what we can then do is bring in a piece of acetate. Now this is Hunky Dory's heavyweight acetate, and I cut this to 5.25 by 4.25, and then what I've done is I've scored and folded in at 1/2 inch at each side. So if I go back to my little die cut silhouette, couldn't think of the word there, I'm going to add that little bit of red liner tape. So we're going to pop this one into place here by using the measurements of the acetate and scoring at the side. What it does is it actually creates a little bit of a bow, because the acetate that I've just measured and cut to is slightly bigger than this silhouette. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck that one in here, and then I'm going to press, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck this one in to the other side and then press. So what that does, so straight on from up above, you know, it looks a bit of a glisten, but if I tip it forward, you'll just see we've got that bit of an acetate bow on the front here. So what I can then do is I'm going to, because I've used acetate, I'm still going to do this layer with some red liner tape. I want to make it really sturdy. So let's go in all the way around. So I'm going to pop that one in. I'm going to go into place here. And then what I'm also going to do is, I'm just going to use my tape runner for this. We're going to pop a little bit of tape onto our bunny rabbit. And then if we take these excess bits off, this is just to show that sometimes you might think, what am I going to do with the paper pad on its own? You can then start to create your own card blanks or your own backgrounds. It's entirely up to yourself, but having that flexibility and versatility really works well. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my tape runner for this one. We can go all the way round. We can then bring in that piece of green cardstock. I'm going to press. Then what we can do is we can go in, and I'm going to pop my adhesive on the back here, and I would be using some of my flower forming flowers, but for time and speed today, this morning / afternoon, what I've done is I've just taken a few paper flowers that I had within my stash, and I'm going to bring in my hot glue gun. And then I'm going to add these as decoration all the way around. And the only thing I've not added yet, because what I'm going to do with this card, I'm going to pop this into my box of delights at home. And this can be used as a card as and when I need it. So I don't always pop sentiments on my cards when I make them, because sometimes I don't know actually who they're going to be for. So I decorate it, and then once it's time to add the sentiment, I can do, but I'm going to pop these ones into place here. That's all that I'm going to do with this one here. We've then created a frame using the frame pattern background here, created one of our die cut apertures. That could be so many of your dies at home. Decorated it all the way around that you'll be able to see here. Keeping it very, very simple, but as I say, it's 8 by 8. Cut it down, chop it down, cut into it, score it, emboss it. Key thing as well with that, it is a matte cardstock, so if you want to ink it, do all your different stamping, you absolutely can. But that's just one of thousands and millions of ideas that you can be doing with that paper pad.
Absolutely, you're going to need to be really quick for that though, because a quarter of the stock has gone just on that first little preview. Remember what you're getting in there, 54 sheets of the 8 by 8 from, of course, your Floral Delights, and you're also receiving in there 10 sheets of the Lavender Centura Pearl as well. Loads of you chatting away, a lot of excitement about that brand new Sarah signature collection, which is on the way a little later today. You'll be seeing more of that in the wake up call this morning as well. I can see Dragon Mum is saying hi from Texas. Kimberly is in from North Carolina. Beth's here in Minnesota. Mitzi in Virginia, and also the lovely Jill in North Yorkshire too. Now, because it's a Monday, something very exciting always happens on a Monday. Can you guess what it is? Yes, of course, it's time for a brand new Get It, Got It, Good. You are going to get 4 incredible body bags in here. So look at the ones that you are getting included. You're going to be able to store things like your paintbrushes, your rulers, your mini ink pads will work perfectly in here. Stephanie, Gail, Brandy, and Dawn all coming your way. The iconic buddy bag, which is made, of course, to fit beautifully into your incredible Lois tote as well. Awesome for a whole range of different uses, from crafting to general tidying. They are incredible. I know lots of you shot yesterday in our awesome of course, birthday celebrations, but a chance for you to get 4 awesome buddy bags at a great discount as part of our Get It, Got It Good. Remember, it only lasts a week or while stocks last, and we'll launch a brand new Get It, Got It Good every single week here on Wake Up Call, which is awesome. Now, loads of you still chatting away, lots of questions coming in, loads of buzz about that signature collection, which is going to be absolutely incredible. And in fact, should we have a look? Look what Craig has got over there.
And you know something? The angle you're looking at me doesn't even do it justice, because my table in front of me is jam-packed full of Sarah's signature collection. Let's dive straight in. I do have boards for the paper pads, but do you know what? Let's go straight in first of all. So you've got your 12 by 12 paper pads. Have a look at the incredible, the detail, the colouring, the scope, the dimension, the backgrounds, the foregrounds, the inking, the text or faux texture within all of these ones here. It's all your distressing's done for you. If you like that distressing, look at that one. Now, I personally would be really, really keen, actually, do you know something? I might do that one night, fussy cutting this one. I would love to do fussy cutting when it comes to this one here. So that's maybe something I'll do over the next few nights. Now what I want to do is I'm going to relatively speed through all of these, because you're going to see them all in a lot more detail with Sarah and Joe coming up on launch day later on today. But what we can then do is show you the bare basics of each of the components that you're getting, and then I've even got the opportunity to do a little bit of a demo for you. But these are all double-sided, so you've got that vintage feel to them. Still add depth and colour if you want to do that, because you've got that colour scheme all the way throughout. Maybe you want to incorporate them with mixed media. You absolutely can. That's your 12 by 12. So this one is where you're getting 48 sheets within these ones here, but they are double-sided. Not going to go through the 6 by 6 because it's exactly the same as the 12 by 12, but the images have been scaled down. So it's not as if it's been 12 by 12 and it's chopped down. It's been nicely scaled, so you're still going to get that full image all the way through. Then you're getting 24 sheets of our colour palette that's going to work just beautifully with the paper pad and the collection. We've got ivory, we've got deep lilac, and we've got a chocolate brown that you can see on these ones here. Double-sided as well with that pearl effect. So that's what's included. Then similar to the 12 by 12 paper pad, so I'm not going to go through them all, but you've got the same designs, but these absolute gorgeous, luxurious vellum papers. And when I say these are exquisite, they absolutely are exquisite. That even, you know, being on screen isn't even going to do them justice. We've got the most delicate, kind of look at your fabrics, your lace, you're even getting into the depth, even when it comes to vellum. So I'm not going to spend lots of time going through these. You know, you just have to take my word when I say they're along the same lines as the 12 by 12, but in that vellum scope. So cut them, tear them, rip them, emboss them, all these different things you can be doing. Now what I'm going to do with these next bits is I'm going to show you the other key components, but instead of going through each board one after another, I'll show you a board and kind of what you can do with them. So within these ones here, you're getting the chipboard frames within these ones. Now I believe you get about, I think it's about 8, I want to say round about 8 in total you get within these ones here. Now you seen the other day that I done some mixed media with past ones. Use them on the cards if you want to, but what you're also getting is rub-ons. Not something that Sarah tends to do a lot of in our collections, but you've got these 4 sheets of rub-ons that you can see here. And when I say these are the most easiest rub-ons to use, they really, really are. But give you an idea of what you can be doing. This centerpiece is the rub-on, but then we've got our 4 corners that we've been inked up, stamping on the side with the paper pads all the way around. So that is your chipboard or your wooden boards as well as your rub-ons. Then we've got, look at, oh gosh, it reminds me of A Christmas Carol, you know, and we say Christmas Carol, I automatically think of the Muppets Christmas Carol. But we've got our feathered quill die here. You've got the die of the feather, the little ink pot as well. You've got that one here. But then you're also getting your charms, 10 packs of charms. I've seen charms over the years, and these are simply exquisite within these ones here. But what can you do? Look at this. So we have got the feather in here. All these components you're seeing here has been used using the signature collection, but finishing off with the charm on the other side here. If I then lift this one up here, all the little heart locks with the keys, all of these are included as well. Incredible. So you're getting them, you're getting the charms as well as those stamping dies. Let's also just show you again, just a couple of other things that you can do with the charms up in this top corner. You don't have to go all out, you can simply use just a couple. I have a butterfly here, just to the side of me, listen to this. These are in bits of plastic that are covered. These are literally metal, so you know you've got that good quality that are going to add that extra oomph and luxuriousness to them. Let's go to this stamp and die set as well. So what we have got is we've got this most gorgeous frame. Kind of like a 2-in-1 within this one here. This is our antique frame stamp and die. So what we've got the main stamp here. You've got the die that die cuts it out, which looks like this one. But then what you've also got along the top, you've got this really, really small one, which then cuts out like that. Don't worry, I'm going to show you the sentiments in a minute even. We've got these tags straight away, mixed media, think of your chipboard, anything along those lines. If I bring that back in and then bring in this sentiment stamp, all of these are going to work in conjunction with both the tags and banners as well as our antique frame stamp and die. If you again draw your eye up to the small one here, so if I go that way, there we go, that small one, look at this one, our adoring sentiments. If I go in, and see these tiny, tiny ones, these fit into that small bit. So they all complement each other and work well together. This is then the sort of thing that you can be making. So we can see we've got the main stamp and die with the sentiment, but we've got the tiny accessory. This ribbon, this twine, all comes included. I'm going to show you that in a minute. Colour it whichever way that you so wish. And then again, if I bring in the little tag that you can see here with the sentiment stamp as well, all complements just beautifully. And this colour tone with that added bit of lilac and bit of deep lilac to it is gorgeous. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous.
Loads of love, Craig, in the comments for all of this. June talking about how great the paper pad is. Karen says, I've already ordered the new collection. My granddaughter's coming today, so I watched the show in the background. Cindy says, stunning. Charlotte saying how awesome it is. Loads and loads of love for everything. The papers, though, Craig, seem to have people cooing and oohing and ahhing at home.
I think, and the reason being, and I'm not thinking, I'm actually going to go out on a limb and say because it's simply that distress look. A distress look that so many really try hard to achieve that don't always get, and it's done for you. If you want to enhance that distress in, you absolutely can. But then what we can go into the love heart lock that you can see here. So this is a really nice one with the key, really sizable as well, which then can start to create this sort of card. Keeping it simple, going all out if you want. And then for something that's really quite small, possibly one of my favorites here. This is our page edger die. I love this one here. You could be using this into your 8x8 or 10x10 memory book if you want. Then maybe incorporate the pocket watch. This is what the stamp and the die. This is then, and this is one of the demos that I'm going to briefly and quickly do just when I've showed you all of these. So bringing a lot of these components in together here. Going back to that little diddy stamp here, we've got our cotton ribbons that you can see here. So that's coming included if you go for the full bundle. So when I say it's coming included, if this is what you're going to go for the full bundle. But then we've still got stamps. We've got more stamps. We've got our exquisite embellishment stamp, which is this one here. And then what we've also got is the perfectly Parisian stamp, which is in here. Another one that shouts out to be decoupaged. That can then create this sort of look here. So this is where we're bringing in the die that we showed you a moment ago. And then what we've done is brought in that stamp set with the envelopes, bringing in the feathers as well. So there's that. Now I've still got 3 more elements to go. So let's bring these ones in here, embossing folders. Wait until you see these ones. I'm going to show you this one first. So this is the Dear Diary embossing folder. So this is sort of our traditional 2D embossing folder. Really nice one with that script work with the kind of English T as well as the books. Now you're ready for this 3D embossing folder. Look at that. A moment in time. Don't worry, I won't start singing Leona Lewis or Kelly Clarkson's version, but look at that. We've got all, it's like your chevrons, you've got your different tone text in the back, you've got the feather, your ink pot, lots of depth to that one. And then what I'm also going to show that you're also getting is look at these ones here. So we are getting your, what do you call them again? It's gone right out my head. Wax seal melt, that's it, wax melt within this one here. You know, if I read the back, it tells me there. There, a little bit of a tip for you there. So you could then be using these together, which then gives you this sort of look. Use them on their own, using any of these dies and stamps in conjunction with these ones, make the most gorgeous cards. Here is the one with the wax seal at the top here. And then just a couple more to go. Let's bring in these ones here. So this is where you're getting your twine within this one here. Jute twine that's working well with that colour theme as well as the vintage diary theme all throughout. These are going to be great for your little accent knots. Maybe you do just want to do a little strip down one side, weave it into the little page die, you can do as well. So that's included. And then I've just got a couple more just in this last pile here. If there is any that you want just on their own, or maybe you want to get extras of a certain thing, then you absolutely can do on the website. And then this is our cotton ribbon pack here. Now this is a cotton ribbon that you can see you've got all of that printed detail on, but then start to ink it as well with any of maybe your distress inks, maybe any of your distress liquids that you've got. And that's also going to be a really nice accent to pop into the top corner, maybe with your chipboard woods, with your stamps and that, maybe a little band right across the middle. That's everything that you're going to be getting if you choose to go for that large collection that's that's coming up later on today when it comes to Sarah and Joe. No wonder, Joe, everyone is loving that collection. No wonder.
They really, really are. Mary Lee says these new vintage diary papers would be perfect for the new large spine albums. Wouldn't they go so well with that? Leela as well says, love those charms. They could be used in so many projects. Rosalind also saying, thanks for the close-up CCT. Gives a realistic look at the dies. And Nefertiti says, this collection has me doing my happy dance. I think there's lots of you going to be doing your happy dance when you receive this. Craig was happy dancing all around the studio this morning, weren't you, Craig?
I was. I absolutely was, yes. Lots of fun. And the key thing is as well, bringing a bit of red changes the look and the dimension of this collection. Bring in a piece of maybe of a subtle yellow, another completely different look. But having that lilac/purple in with it really brings out all of that vintage look. Thought what we're going to do is I showed you one of these finished samples, and this is what I'm going to create. I've got all the elements good to go. So I've got all my little bits here that are already either cut or stamped. I've also got the wax seal bits. Now, before I assemble this card, what I wanted to do, and the reason I was jumping about this morning, is I thought this would be really good, you know, for your very, very old photos that you really want to protect. So what I've done is I have taken one of the 12 by 12 pattern papers, and then what I've also done as well. Now, before, a couple of years ago, just before my granddad passed away, he gave me his wedding album. That was my nan and granddad. My nan, she passed away it was 1994. And then my granddad was, 2-3 years ago. So he gave this to me. Now, what I've done, I've not pulled a page out. This was already out loose. So what I've done is, I'm not wanting to chop into this at the moment. I'm going to do it properly at home. But I can simply, by popping that onto my background, using another one of that pattern paper, what I could then do is fussy cut. I could start to overlay. I can then bring in some of these key components, also overlay. And Joe, if you want to shape them, you can do. Absolutely shape them, no problem at all. And then this is all about layering up. There's no right or wrong way of doing these ones. What you're wanting to do is have fun. So even if you want to bring in a piece of the ripped vellum, and that's just breaking up that bit of depth from the envelopes as well as the roses, and then also bringing in a few of these tags, have them under the vellum. And if you see any showing, don't worry. It's a very mixed media collection to me, and I don't want you to be put off with that, because you don't have to use it as a mixed media collection. What I mean by this is it's very forgiving. You don't have to stick to any rules. To be fair, there is no rules in crafting, but you can, it gives you that authenticity and that kind of like that acknowledged to, do you know what, just go for it. Go for it, do what you want. Layer bits up if you want, so we can pop the clock there, we could bring the butterfly, maybe you want to come along and layer the little die cut key, and then you can simply go in as well. Maybe you want to add some extra colour. So you can take lots of these different elements, you can bring them for the foreground. I would be inclined to take this black layer off and layer that onto a piece of the purple, because then that's going to pull it in to this purple lock and key that we can see here. So what I'm going to do, I know that I've spent a bit too much time on that, so instead of sticking all of this down, what I will do is I'll layer these main ones back again, just onto my glass mat. So there was these, as well as these main mats and layers. So these are the sort of layers here, which actually created this card here. So whether you're going from a card or using the same components to layer up on a big scrapbook page, you absolutely can do. This is why after just day one, I'm fortunate I've seen this going about the office over the last couple of weeks. This is why this is easily my new favourite Sarah Signature collection ever, Joe.
Absolutely, and loads of you. That's a big big, bold statement there from Craig about that. Dawn in New Jersey says, placed an order yesterday so I can sit back and listen as I work today. I love this new signature paper. Pamela says her son collects pocket watches, and that stamp is an absolute must-have. Karis can't get over how much is in it. Sonia's saying it's right up her street. Suzette says, good thing, I am in bed. This collection is R and ooh, so in love. Can't wait to get my hands on it with this new vintage collection. And June says, Craig's excitement really is infectious. It's going to be a 2-hour launch with myself and Sarah, 3 p.m. here today in the UK, which is now, let me see if I get this right, 10 a.m. on the East Coast time. Whew, we just got used to it and now it's gone back again. It really is confusing. Right, don't forget though about all the incredible craft vault deals that are in this show. Must remind you though, of course, about that incredible National Craft Month giveaway. Only a few days left now of our National Craft Month giveaways, and today's is spectacular. You have got loads of incredible stamps in there. I can see beautiful dies, sparkle pens, wrap dies. You've got nitwit items in there. There really is a little bit of a mixed bag. No matter what you're into, I'm sure there's going to be something fabulous for you in there. All you need to do is just comment in any one of our shows, if you do it over on Facebook or across on YouTube, and everyone will go into that draw, which is absolutely spectacular. Now, speaking of spectacular, I have got some awesome craft vault deals for you. I'm going to have a little look at our next craft vault deal here. It is our Summer Breeze 12 by 12 paper pad that we are looking at. A fifth, however, of the stock of this has already gone. It is an incredible paper pad. Again, absolutely chock-a-block full, double-sided for you as well, so you know you've always got mats and layers that are going to work beautifully together, and you've also got toppers in the back of there, and we've popped this alongside an absolute crafty essential, which is of course your nesting dies, and in here you're going to get the stitched edged oval, which is incredible. A great deal for you on this as well. You're saving 30% here, $15.66 or $20.66 for Club Inspire Platinum members. All of you, of course, getting some sort of Club Inspire discount. We've got more deals for you as well over the next hour or so. But I know Craig has got something he'd love to share with you with this awesome paper pad.
I am indeed. So we're going to, once again, kind of following on suit from the very first collection that we showed you. I've taken a couple of pieces of cardstock from that 12 by 12 paper pad. So what I've done is I've trimmed this one down to 6.5 by 4.5 inches here. So this is from our Summer Breeze paper pad. I've also taken another one here, which is 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. This layer is going to layer straight onto our 5 by 7 card blank. This one here, it's matte, so I brought in some of my grasshopper green, and we're going to distress the edges. But not only are we going to distress them with the ink, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our little distressing tool. Anything that you see any of us use, you'll always be able to have a look on our website to check them out. But this is the little tool that I'm going to be using in a moment. And this is to distress the edges. And it's a safer way to do it than maybe using your scissors. So all that I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it whichever way it feels comfortable. I'm going to put one of these notches into my card. And because you're distressing it, what makes it really easy with this is if you hold it tight, if you bend the pages, if you rip the pages, doesn't matter. It's still going to add to that distressed look. So I'm going to do these two edges here, and then I will show you the one that I've already done all the way around, because I did spend a little bit of time just slowly doing the edges. So we can go back in, if we want to go in, do little tears, you can do. So this is roughly how it can start to look. But if I bring in the one that I've already done, and we can see that I've already gone all the way around the edges. So what I can then do is if I start to layer these ones up, you use whichever adhesive you choose to use. You might want to use your glue, but we can go in, do our layers, and then what we're also going to do is we're going to bring in that scalloped die, not the scalloped die, the stitched die, stitched oval, because within this paper pad, what you're actually getting is you're also getting some die cut toppers as well. So if you want to make a card out of it, you can do. So let's take these bits off here. Let's go in all the way around. If I take these bits, and then I've also taken one of our butterfly dies, which is our element die from our Gemini mini collection that I'll show you in a sec. So let's layer this one up. So notice I'm also using the pattern paper as a mat and layer cardstock. So let's bring in our oval nesting dies, and I'm going to go in with, I think it's the largest one, yep. So a piece of our white smooth cardstock for this one, and then also I'm going to go in with the next layer down, and I'm also using it on that excess cardstock of this reddish layer on the back. So let's bring in our plates now. So I'm going to put these ones in here. So tell you what we'll do. So I've already got a white layer. So to cut down in speed, there is my white layer, and we will cut this one through. Obviously, if you are using the large Gemini, you'll be able to do them both at the same time. I don't need to tell you my love for the Junior, so that's why I've got the Junior, as I always do. This is then going to come out, and then using the same ink that I used a minute ago, the Grasshopper, water reactive, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tint the edges. So I'm going to go in, layer up with a little bit more of the green. And I just feel not only does the green break it down a bit, what it also does is it enhances your lines that you've used within that pattern paper. But with having lots of different designs, you can change it if you want. So there's these layers here. So now what I can do is if I start to layer these ones up, so we can pop our tape on the back here, I'm going to sit that one into the middle. And of course, it wouldn't be a demo without a pad, would it? So let's bring in a couple of, actually tell you what, I've still got some of my large A4 foam pad sheets. So let's simply pop that one there, make it nice and quick. So let's pop this back onto our card blank here. So far, the only additional element I've used is our white smooth stamping card. Of course, I have used a bit of green ink, but it's up to yourself. And then this is one of the toppers that you get within the back of the 12 by 12 paper pad. So I'm going to sit that into the middle here. Now you might have alphabets, you could write someone's name, your initial, you might want to foil onto it using one of the alphabets. But this was the Flutter and By die from our Gemini Mini Elements. And what I've done is the main layer, I've done the backdrop with the same reddish layer. Then the detailed butterfly I've done within the white smooth stamping card. And then the green body, I've just used a little bit of scrap from my other card, my 12 by 12 texture card. And that is all that I'm going to do with that one there. But you can then maybe add a few gems or pearls onto the middle if you want to, a little swirl, a few flower form. It's entirely up to yourself. Yes, I had those layers cut, but very, very quick and simple. Cut your layers, eliminate the inking if you don't want it, and you've got a really simple 5x7 card that is made from the 12 by 12 paper pad as well as the stitched edge oval dies.
Awesome. What a really effective, quick and simple demonstration. It just shows you when you've got beautiful papers, then you're going to be able to create something awesome very quickly. A lot of you are still awestruck by the incredible signature collection that's coming up later. Miss Jack, loving the scrapbook page. A lot of people talking about using it for scrapbooking. I think it's crying out for that. Miss Jack says she's got to go and visit the website soon. She'll be back. Lots of you are placing your orders already ahead of that launch day show. Diana says, when you have the album done, please, Craig, you must share it with us. And Michael saying, hi Craig and Joe, brilliant demos, just had to get that new signature collection. Ooh. I think it was meant to be a secret, sorry. Our little sandbox as well, Craig has moved on, but my mouth is still on the floor from the vintage diary collection. It is so shabby chic, I Absolutely love it. Now, whilst that is coming up 3 p.m. here in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern time, that is not all that's coming up today, and we'll show you more of that a little later. Remember, if you are going for the Summer Breeze collection, a quarter of the stock here has gone. You're going to get that incredible Summer Breeze paper pad in there, 48 sheets of awesome floral papers in here, all double-sided for you too, which is incredible. So you can see there just how gorgeous those papers are, and you've got toppers in the back of there, lots of lovely tags, and then you get your dies too. You get 11 in here, and they are an absolute must-have, from tags to card blanks, all sorts of great things, even down to mats and layers too. So 1958 or 2583 becomes 1566 or 2066 as a Club Inspire Platinum member. Now, of course, there is that massive launch day, but also, Craig, we do have a fantastic Monday Makers, you and I, don't we?
We do indeed, absolutely. And we have got our Gemini Scallop inverted nesting die, so as Joe just said, where you can actually check these ones out. What I've tried to do, now and I hold no apologies, I'm going to leave you kind of on a bit of an even tender hook, let's just say. I gave you a little bit of a sneak on Instagram yesterday of some Easter themed cards that I've done. Really fun and funky ones. I'm going to do one of the Easter cards here, but the really fun and funky Easter bunny and chick, we're going to leave it until Monday Maker, so you're going to have to come back and see how I created these ones.
What a tease, Craig.
Tease, I know. I absolutely know I am. And do you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad. Nice tease, keep you hanging on. I don't even know if you've seen, do you know something? I don't even have them with me. They're through on my desk, so I can't even tease you right now with them. But let's have a look and look at these inverted stitched lace dies here. So within these ones here, straight away Easter, I was thinking Easter egg. Now what you can then do is, yes, you can mat and layer them and create your layers, your inner page, your outer page, anything for your stamped images or toppers. But I thought, let's go for kind of like an Easter theme. Now a lot of these cardstock I'm using, I've already popped our double-sided A4 adhesive sheets on the back to make it a little bit quick and simple. So let's take, do you know what, let's skip this layer first of all. So what I've done is use this outline die, this main outline die. I've run that through using our green cardstock, which was one of the cardstocks from the Warm Tones, I want to say. So there's layer one. Then what I'm going to do is using this outline die as well as this inner inverted nesting die, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a piece of the pink, which is from the, sorry, this one is from the Warm Tones. The green is from our Sunflower Tones, 12 by 12. So we're going to layer these into the middle together, so we can then start to position them into place. And hopefully this is then going to show you how how you can use these dies in a different way. You don't have to layer them straight on top of each other to give height. You can actually layer them together, but on a one-dimensional ground. So let's run this one through. That's then going to go through. Then what I can do is, let's get my layers all sorted. So as this one comes out, if you use your A4 adhesive sheets like I have, this is then going to be good for you to then use as fussy cutting. Not fussy cutting, paper piecing. Fussy cutting, where did that come from? Don't know.
You're obsessed with it, that's why.
I am, I absolutely am. So carefully taking this one out. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop all these little bits out. Now all the cardstock is detached from the core of the card. The only thing that might be holding it in place is your backing of your adhesive. So I'm not worried if it doesn't look as though they're coming out. They are, and as soon as I remove that adhesive backing, you'll see that they all pop out. So these are this one here, so let's take that one. So there's one of our layers now. So we've got this one. We can then move on onto our next layer now. So let's set that one to the side. So what I'm then going to do is, with this bit of yellow, also from the Sunflower Tones, what I want to do is I want to bring back that die that I used a minute ago. I'm going to take out that excess. I'm going to pop this one out, and then that one can go into the middle. I'm not concerned that this is too small because it's actually this inner part that I want. So let's tape that into place, that one, and then that one. Then at this point, what I'm going to do is if I then bring in this next inner straight edge die, I'm going to set that into the middle. And you have all these different options. Instead of using this die that I've just popped into the middle, you might want to use one of these other ones. You might want to use your stitched edge oval die that I was using a moment ago. You can use that.
How many straight edge dies do we get in each of those collection crates? You
so
know?
Straight edge dies, you get 1, 2, 3, 4 straight
awesome.
edge dies. Yep. So this is where the detail die, if you use it on its own, it's going to cut into your card. If you use that straight edge die with it, it's going to take it out of your card. So now, what I'm then going to do is if I peel these ones away, what I am actually wanting is, the whole back end's coming off, it's actually this bit here that I want here. So let's set that one to the side. Now we've got all these additional bits that we could still be using. If this cardstock was slightly bigger, and obviously I didn't make it bigger on purpose, I only wanted it for the center bit, you could use that as a frame, so you've got that option. Let's now skip a couple of steps. So what I've done here is on my next bit of pink, I've used, once again, I've used that same outline die. Then I've come in and then I've used that die. Then what I've also done is I have used, now did I use an inside die? No, I just used them two together, which gives me this effect. So then what I've done is bring in another piece. This is why it's so versatile. I've then brought back in that same detail die. Now I don't need the outside shape, hence why my cardstock's smaller. I've then brought in this detail die together, which gives me this jaggedy edge with the scalloped in the middle. Then what we've done, it's like the Russian dolls, it keeps going and going and going.
There is going to be a test at the end, by the way. You're expected to remember all these steps. Let me know in the comments afterwards.
Then I've taken this second smallest die, and once again, it's just this middle part that I want. So using the detail die, as well as the additional detail die together, it then gives me that look. And then last but not least, another piece of the yellow, just using that smallest detail die, it gives me an inner bit that looks like that. So what we can then do, move them all out the way. Let's start from the beginning. So I'm going to take these ones off and I'm going to start to layer all these ones up. So what I'm going to do, Joe, is I'm literally going to take the back end off. Is there any comments on that just while I'm moving
Yeah,
these
absolutely,
ones
no
up?
worries. Melissa says, still talking about that Summer Breeze paper pad, she's absolutely loving that. Penny says, OMG, I've got the new Sarah collection for my 41st birthday, the second in UK lockdown. Happy birthday, Penny, from all of us here at Crafters TV. She says, happy birthday to everyone today. I'm watching Crafters TV and I'm at my crafting station. Carol says, there are a lot of beautiful paper pads today, there really are. And Sonia wants to know, is the adhesive back card on the show? Now, it's not on the show, but we'll get Johnny to see if it's on the website.
Absolutely. It's usually always on the website if it's not on the show. So now what I'm going to do is I've taken this layer off and I'm going to layer that on to that base layer. And then as I can then pop that all the way around and getting it as close to perfect all the way around. If you get little bits of green showing, don't worry, we can trim them away. Then what I can do is I can take this next layer, and then what we're going to do is we can pop this bit in. So we can then use our pokey tool to maneuver it into place. And because it's all nested, they're all going to fit into each other. But you've got all these different options. You know, maybe you didn't want this layer, you wanted a smaller one, then you can do. Now this one here, so I've not got adhesive on the back, so let's use my dotty tape runner for this one. And this is also to show, a lot of people seem to think when you nest them together, you have to nest them up quite high using your foam pads or your glue gel. This is to show that you can absolutely layer them together, but keep them flat. So you're nesting them into each other. So we can then press that one in.
It's like a fabulous Easter egg, Craig.
It's a very fancy Easter egg, isn't it? Very, very fancy. But this could be, imagine if this is like Mirror Card Joe or Glitter Card or any of your expensive looking cardstocks that you've got at home you can be using. And then I've got 2 more layers now. It's this one. So let's pop that one on. That can slot into the middle. And then last but not least, we're going to slot this one on. That can go into the middle. Then what I've done is I have got a piece of white smooth stamping card, and I've cut this to 5.5 by 5.5 inches. And then what I'm going to do is if I bring this one down, and I'm going to layer this and line it up to the right hand side so it fits, it's 5.5, and I'm going to press. Then what I'm going to do, these 2 corners, I'm going to cut away there and then here. And I've also got a green layer, green texture from our warm tones, and this one is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So let's do a quick bit of foam pad. So I'm going to put that one on here, and let's do one more for time and speed. So before I stick that one on, look, oh, I'm well organised with my double-sided tape. Got something on the end of my pokey tool. It's not handy, is it? Not good. Let's take these bits off, and then we're going to layer this onto my card blank. So I've got a 6 by 6 card blank here. Pop it into place here. This one can then go over the top. And then what we can also do is remember our recently new interchangeable sentiment dies.
Yes.
What I've done is I've taken Happy Easter, and let's pop our dotty tape runner on the back. I would be inclined to use my tacky glue in the small applicator. I'm going to position that one into the middle here. I'm going to pop that there, and then lastly, but not leastly, let's see if I can get this glue flowing. Let's put, no, didn't think I would. Let's bring in a couple of dots, so one there and one there. I brought in a couple of hunky-dory petals, one there, and then there we go. We've got a really bright and bold Easter card, looking as though it's that Easter egg shape, and it's all nested together. But if I tip it forward, you can see how completely flat it is. Don't done away with that thought of your nesting dies, when you layer them up, they've got to have height to them with foam pads. You do not layer them, but you can then absolutely keep them flat as well. So there we go.
Awesome. Tansy Pan saying it looks like the most gorgeous Fabergé egg. That's kind of what it's like, isn't it? If anyone got me an Easter egg that looked like that, I would be over the moon. Monica says she loves the inverted nesting dies. Cindy saying how much she loves them as well. Tansy Pan saying it's outside, it's a bright sunny spring day, and inside Craig's creations are mirroring the beautiful springtime weather. It is very spring-like, isn't it, at the moment? It was very sunny on Friday in Manchester, Craig, and I mean, that never happens, let me assure you. Lorna Jane saying so many different uses for these as well. And Lynn saying, I've become addicted to all of these live shows. There's a lot worse things to be addicted to, Lynn, I'm absolutely sure of that. Now, we're going to move on to another one of our Craft Vault deals. This is the awesome Santa's Kitchen card pad that you've got in here, and it's coming with an interchangeable snowflake die as well. Let me just show you what is in there. So let me just bring this over here for you so you can get a little look at this. So what you're going to receive, 32 pages, 180 GSM, but look, it is gorgeous double-sided, and it's got some iconic Christmas imagery in there as well. You've got some candy stripes, some polka dots in there. It is really, really awesome. So you're going to receive that, but you're also going to receive as well the creator card die. Now this is one of those gorgeous interchangeables. It means that you're going to get Let It Snow, but boom, change it, and if by magic you've got Winter Wishes, you can also have in there as well that third sentiment, which I can't read from upside down. Believe in the season is what you've got in there too. So you get all of that, which is absolutely awesome. You get both of them at a great price, may I say so myself too, because the interchangeable snowflake should be on its own £24.99 or £32.99. So for a little bit more, you're getting an awesome deal. In fact, Platinum members, you're not even paying for the interchangeable, and you're getting both of those included in there as well. It was so busy when we launched it as part of the Santa's Kitchen collection, and it is still very, very busy now. Lots of you going for it in this show, which is awesome. Right. I need to go back over this way and show you something, because of Floral Delights, the 8x8 pad with the gorgeous Lavender Centura Pearl cardstock is a third of the stock sold out and gone. 54 sheets in that one. It's 8x8, remember too, with some really... The thing is about florals, right? They're timeless, aren't they? They're never going to go out of fashion. It's definitely a card pad or a paper pad you can have in your stash forever, and you're always going to be able to get loads of awesome craftability out of it as well. Teresa's saying she's definitely going to give that card that you've just tried there a go, Craig. Absolutely, and make sure you tag us if you do give it a go, Teresa. Make sure you tag us either on Instagram or upload it to our Facebook or something like that, so we can all get to have a lovely look at it. If you're watching us on YouTube as well, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any of our shows. If you want to get in touch with me in the show, then you can. It's really easy to do so. If you're over on Facebook, Crafters TV. If you're across on YouTube, then Crafters Companion. But I believe we're going to have a little look at this die and paper pad, Craig. Is that correct?
We are indeed. So I'm going to kind of show you the main concept, and we're going to just change it up very slightly. So this is what you can be creating, this sort of look to these ones here. You've got the outside die, you've got the inside die, and you've got the interchangeable sentiment. So we've got this one here, that one says Winter Wishes. Then we've got Let It Snow on here, and then another one with Let It Snow, another one with Let It Snow. So what we're then going to do, the only one that we've not seen is the Believe, was that one Believe in the Magic? So that was Winter. So we've not seen Believe in the Magic. So what we can do is we will cut that one out just now. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of white glitter card from my own stash, and I've cut this to 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. So this is where you've got the die. Now this die, it cuts into your card. You do get an outside die if you want to cut it separately. 9 times out of 10, I've never used this outline die. I cut my cardstock already to the size that I want. Then at this point, this is when you can choose whichever sentiment you want to use. So let's go for Believe in the Magic, and then we're going to position that into place, lining it up, and then I'm going to secure it. So let's go at the top and also the bottom. And then what I'm also going to do, and I do it with all of these sorts of dies, when it comes to die cutting, I always add my metal shim, only because we've got a big plate of detailed die as well as lots of different die cut embellishment parts. So if I pop that one on, let's bring in my metal shim. If we can find, oh, here we go. So we can then pop that one in first. So this is how it's going to look, but I am in a moment or two, I've got one already done, and I'm going to show you another way in which you can use them. So this is then going to cut through, not only are you going to get all of that detail that's die cut, a lot of the bits that are going to cut out are like snowflakes or little stars, so keep a hold of them and use them as extra embellishments. So if I take these ones out, and I'm going to carefully take away my red liner tape. My low tack tape. Not red at all, is it? It's not even close to red. So let's take these bits off. Now what we can then do is if we bring in our die release tool, we can go in all the way along, and for instance, I was on about a moment ago, if I pop them bits out, see how we've got all these little snowflakes that we could be using elsewhere in our crafting come Christmas time. So let's take all these bits out. So I'm going to get as most of them out as I can. Take a little bit of time, especially when you're using a glitter card, especially a shedless glitter card like this one is. So we can pop this one in. And for anyone that's going to ask, because I'm pretty sure someone will ask, this glitter card and the blue one I'm away to use in a minute, that's from Sarah's Glittering Snowflake collection. So what I'm going to do is take this bit out and just take the detail out here, Joe.
Lorna Jane says, how did I miss this die at Christmas? I love it. I have the others, but not this one. Well, Lorna Jane, the good news is that if you buy the die, I mean, you're practically getting the paper pad for free if you're a member of Plug Me Inspire. So maybe it was meant to be, Lorna Jane. Rosalind says, I love to use mirror card with these dies. They work so well. And also lots of you sharing ideas. Don't forget as well, 2 amazing shows coming up today. 3 p.m. here in the UK for that incredible launch day, and 7 p.m. myself and Craig for Monday in Makers. I'm looking forward to that, Craig show.
It's going to be a good show.
No, I'm looking forward to that show, Craig, is what I meant to say.
It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a cracker for sure. Now, what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to pop all these bits out. I've popped all these bits out from the sentiment so that you can see. What I always like to do, though, just so you can see on camera, look, these have all die cut. It's not though I'm trying to deceive you or not popping out bits that haven't cut. They've all die cut beautifully, but you just need to pop them out. Now, this is where your sentiment is in the middle. If I used this die, this one, without the sentiment, you're going to be left with this. So you're going to be left with all of that intricacy all the way round, but you're going to be left with a flat centered part that you can see here. Now what I'm also going to do, if I bring back in my tacky glue, because I was well prepared for this one, you can see I've already had the backing of my foam pads, good to go. But because I'm going on a glitter card, Joe, what will happen is after even maybe just a couple of days, doesn't matter how good a quality the foam pad is or glitter card, it just doesn't like it. So I still want that depth. So what I've done is I've added a piece or a bit of tacky glue on top of our foam pad. So the foam pad gives the initial stick, and then the tacky glue dries into all the grains of the glitter card. So we've now got what that one looks like. Let's bring in an 8x8 card and 2 layers from the Santa's Kitchen 12x12 cardstock. I'm going to do Matt's. Actually, I didn't even realise that was a pure colour on the back. So we're going to go with that one. You could have it with the snowflakes on the front if you want. But what I want to show you how you can also use your pattern papers as your matting layers as well. You don't have to go straight to our texture cardstocks or anything along those lines. You can use your pattern papers as well. So let's go all the way around here. I'm going to pop that into the middle. So there's our mats and layers. I'm going to bring back our snowflake layer here and pre-organize so we can take our backings off. This is then going to go into the middle. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to bring in, wait for it, a spare Christmas topper that I've had from my Hunky Dory set that we had on Crafters TV last year. It could be a little topper from Nature Garden, Sarah's signature. But what I've done is I'm going to pop this one in. Let's bring in a bit of our tacky glue. And I've die cut a circle in the glitter card. Only so, I don't want to see any of the glitter card on the outside. I only want to have it on the inner part. So let's take that one off. Let's bring in our topper. Same idea. bring in the backings off. Let's pop a little bit of the tacky glue. We're going to pop that one here. Let's press that for a second. Let's bring in our layer into the middle. I'm going to sit that into the middle here. Finish off with our sentiment. You can come along with any of these die-cut snowflakes that have come out, maybe gems, maybe pearls, entirely up to yourself. But don't just think as though you have to use the sentiment. Think of it as a background die as well. So there is the snowflake interchangeable sentiment die with 2 sheets of the Santa's Kitchen, but we've gone large, as in an 8x8 card, but of course you can make it as small as 5x5 if you want, but you've got that option of doing the sentiment if you want, or use it as a topper sentiment as well. You've got that flexibility.
Absolutely awesome. Loads of people loving these demonstrations this morning. Sarah W., who is a newbie, and she's got a newbie question, Craig. We always welcome newbie questions. She says, what's the roller brush thingy for? What exactly does it do, please, Craig?
Right, so with this tool here, now a lot of people, and there is a lot of people, that they find it therapeutic. Once we've ran our die through, a lot of us find it very therapeutic to use a pokey tool and pop all the little bits out. So you're going along, you're having a sit, you're letting your mind wander, and you're popping all these bits of die bits out the back. But not all the time do we have patience, and not all the time do we have the time in the world. So you do on the website, you get our die brush and you get this foam mat as well. So what you can do is you roll it over the back of the die. Now obviously I have nothing left in this, but you roll it over the back, and what happens, all these bristles, they push out the excess bits of cardstock through here, and it's a lot easier and quicker way to clean your dies. But equally, what you can still do is you can still go in and you can do it onto your cardstock as well. It's a nice little tool just to use, get any of the waste bits out, and it's quicker as well.
Absolutely awesome. I hope that answers your question, Sarah. Judy said, great tip on adding glue to the foam tape to get it stick to the glitter card. I'll have to remember that one. Lorna says, yes, Joe, it is perfect timing. In fact, my sister and I were just discussing yesterday how early we should start making our Christmas cards this year. Well, I think that is a sign, isn't it, Lorna Jane? June's loving all the demonstrations this morning. And Kimberly says, I'm always amazed how fast and gorgeous these cards come together. We've got that great launch day coming up today, but remember, there is also that incredible Monday Makers show, the one show where we maybe go a little bit more in depth than we would normally. It doesn't mean that there isn't something that absolutely everyone can learn from that show, and it will be here this evening for you at 7 p.m. here in the UK, which is 2 p.m. on the East Coast. Now, there is a great Monday mega deal at the lowest ever price. That's all. Oh, it is good. It's really good. You're going to have to make sure that you're joining us for that. But loads of other stuff in the show as well. You can always shop ahead and look at all of the upcoming shows by going to the website craftscompanion.co.uk.com.au, click offers tab at the top, and then it'll all come. You'll see all the show titles there, and you can click on, you can see exactly what is coming up. So if you wanted to get shopped ahead between shows, then absolutely you can do that. But I believe Craig is going to take us through something else that's coming up in that Monday Makers show.
I am indeed. So we're going to go back to our inverted nesting dies. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over into our stitched edge zigzag. So I tell you what, let's bring just a few finished samples for you to see. So whether you're going to go small and round, then you can do, and this is where you've got all your zigzag effects. You can go into the square ones. Now, if you are going to layer them on top of each other using the foam pad, absolutely you can do. Whether you're going to do what I done earlier and keep them flat, you absolutely can do. But then what you can also do, and that's what I'm going to do on these ones, is use them as a backdrop, but a backdrop that you wouldn't maybe always think, oh, they've came from nesting dies. So let's take a couple of our layers so that we can start to cut. So what I'm now away to do is let's bring in our main dies here. I'm going to bring in these individuals. So I've got all of these good to go. So what I've already done beforehand, let's take a couple of these layers that I've cut. Well prepped and organised. Well, it's kind of like, so I'm shocked at that, to be fair. I'm usually quite organised and prepped anyway, but I mean, like, everything's stuck with low-tack tape, so I don't lose it. That's how well prepped I am. What I have done now is I've taken a piece of, it's kind of like a ruby red cardstock, and I cut it to 4.5 by 6 inches. So 4.5 by 6 inches. And then what I've done is I've used this outer die, I've popped that one into the middle, and that's created this little rectangle frame. So that can go to the side. I've then taken this kind of deep turquoise cardstock, and what I've also done, bringing in that same outline die, as well as this next zigzag die, I've lined them together, I've ran it through my Gemini, it gives us this look here. So we've got that one. I've then moved that one out of the way, brought in a piece of mint cardstock. So using this same decorative die, I've also gone in with this next decorative die here. So run them ones through my Gemini, which gives me this look here. We've then gone into this piece of ruby cardstock. So I've used this die here. So far I've been using all the decorative dies, not the straight edge dies. So we've used this die, and then our next decorative die here. Run that one through the Gemini, and that gives us this look here. We've then gone two more layers. We've gone for another bit of this deep turquoise. I'm then going to pop that one into the middle here. We can then bring in this last decorative die. That's then going to give us this look. And then last but not least, we can then use that last small die into another piece of mint. If we die cut that one out, that's then going to give us this inner panel here. So that's all our layers cut. So let's move them out the way. That's then going to give us all these ones. So what I'm going to do just for the time being, Joe, is I am going to do what I've done to start with, and I don't have any adhesive on the back, so I'm going to use my tacky glue, and I'm going to layer them all on to this white smooth stamping card. So I'm going to layer them all in each other, and then I'll explain the next step.
Awesome. Loads of you loving this demonstration. Elisa says, I love all the nesting dies, the regular ones and the inverted ones. They make crafting so much easier and faster. I think they're definitely, Lisa, I'm sure you'd agree, what you'd class as an essential tool when it comes to your die cutting. Jeffrey says, loving the demo this morning. Craig, highly, highly appreciated. Miss Lorene Schoolhouse on YouTube, not sure that's her given name, says, love these rectangle dies. Well, if you want to see these dies, along with a whole host of other fabulous products and demonstrations, then you're going to want to make sure you join us for our Monday Makers show this evening, 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. if you are across on the East Coast, because you'll be seeing these and a shed load of other awesome stuff and lots of incredible demonstrations as well. Remember, a great deal for you here on these too. You will have to join us and make sure that you snap those up. I know lots of you already own these dies too. If you do, then absolutely, in our show later, send us across some pictures, because we would love to see the things that you guys have been creating with these as well. Tansy Pan says, gosh, I think I need to move into CCHQ. Imagine having all of that paper and card to play with. It doesn't matter how much I have, Craig, always is a colour, using a colour I would like. I think rather than moving in here, move in at Craig's house, because you've got the deck in, you've got the garden, there's a kitchen, he's a pretty good cook as well. I mean, it's definitely, and he's also got all the awesome paper pads there as well. So I think that would be your best bet, Tansy Pans, rather than moving in here.
Oh, yeah, never know. Plenty of room, eh? Plenty. Certainly now I've got the back garden sorted. It's funny you were saying that, actually, Joe, because, you know, we've been talking about at some point a few you guys and girls coming round for obviously just a cup of tea in the back garden. But next month I have a week off. And I'm actually going home to Scotland for, not for the full week,
So you're
but
going to
for
let
some of it.
all of us have use of your garden? Is that what you're saying?
Well, do you know, so I never thought that, but if you want. But what was just a way to say there is, because obviously we're discussing about coming into mind for a nice little catch up. What we are doing is when I come back, my mum is actually coming back with me for a few days.
Nice.
My stepdad, I'll then drive through and pick her up. And my stepdad, he's like an engineer and he's a joiner and does all these sorts of stuff. So he's going to put, you know, like the jobs that I either can't do or won't do. You know, a tap outside, TV on the wall, electric outside. Because he can do that. So then that means I can get these inexpensive heaters, you know, outside heaters.
Nice.
For when you guys do come round. So
honestly,
all planned.
I mean, it's nicer than the outside of Craig's house is nicer than the inside of my house. It is awesome. Go have a look on his Facebook if you want to see some pictures. It's basically like the Love Island set in the northeast. That's what it's like. It really is. Got a text.
Got a text, yeah. Just don't have the body for that.
Join the club, me and you both, Craig.
You won't see me and my budgie smugglers, that's for sure, in the garden.
Absolutely
Here we
not.
go. So I've layered that onto just a piece of cardstock. It doesn't have to be our white card. It could be an inexpensive piece of cardstock. Then what I'm going to do, bringing in the guillotine, I'm going to cut from corner to corner. And we're going to line this one up. And we are cut all the way down. We can then, now look at that, because my glue wasn't dry properly, I've skimmed some of the edges off. So let's neaten that up. There's that one, and then take this little slither off here. There we go. And then bringing in a card blank, which I've got here, this one being 7 by 7. I'm going to bring in these layers here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that one to the left side. I'm going to go this one to the right side. Let's use in our tape runner. I'm going to layer this one in. And at the moment, they will overlap your card blank, but we're going to snip that off. And I'm going to place them into the corner there, bringing in this one here. And then I've got a couple of die cut sentiments all ready, good to go. So we can layer that to the side here. Let's snip off that excess there, 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 and then there. Then what I'm going to do is I've already done these layers especially for you. And I've done it especially for you, Joe.
Ah, thanks, Craig.
Let's pop that one there, especially. See, you can't say it without thinking of Kylie and Jason.
Especially, we can't sing any more than that because we'll get charged, Craig.
Probably. Was it 10 seconds or something?
I think so. No one really wants to hear 10 seconds of anything I can sing.
Or me. No, or me.
Not
Unless you
at
want to
all.
hear screeching.
Tansy Pan says she is just packing, Craig. She'll be on her way.
Ah,
There you
good.
go. I'm not sure. You can't have guests inside at the minute, though.
No.
I mean, Tansy Pans, you know. Those are the rules. I can't. Let's not get into it, Jennifer. Let's just not go there. Jennifer wants to know what body smugglers are. Yes. Let's just move on.
So, to finish off, what I've done is I have got a hole punch. Just a single craft hole punch. Very similar to a crocodile, but it's not. And I die cut a couple of little bits of circles to add. So this is a nice way of doing it instead of gems or pearls. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. So we've got here, and then let's do 1, 2, 3. And I'm using my pokey tool just to pick these ones up. So another way now to use your inverted nesting dies as a design, as a backdrop. So let's pop that one in there. Always the rule of 3, as it's pleasing on the eye. So odd numbers. So although I say the rule of 3, 3, 5, 7, 9, always looks
odd
good.
numbers, Craig. Is that a you thing or is that a
that's
craft thing?
And it's not only a craft thing; it's a gardener's thing as well.
Oh, really?
So a lot of gardeners will plant their plants in the the plant be in 3s or 5s or 9s, so odd numbers as well. But there we go, so learning up to it, still using these inverted nesting dies, layering them together but keeping them one dimension and creating that bit of a backdrop for your card, bringing a sentiment, a stamp, chop into them as well. Nice different pattern that you've got here.
Awesome. That looks brilliant, Craig. Absolutely love that. You guys loving the deals in this show as well. Don't forget, if you want to go for that interchangeable die that we had for you, very, very busy still on that one. $24.99 or $32.99 is what you should be paying for the die on its own. You're only paying a few pounds more or dollars more and getting the whole thing. But the thing is, if you're a Club Inspired Platinum member, you're actually paying less than just the cost of the die on its own. You're getting the die, you're getting 32 sheets in that Santa's Kitchen, a paper pad there for you as well, which is awesome. So you get all of that. Very, very busy there. $27.98 or $37.08. One more deal to share with you though, which is our awesome dimensional hexagon boxes. Now this is brilliant because it is one of our double-sided dies, but it also does two different sizes of boxes for you, which is fantastic. So it does a 4.25 by a 3.7 inch box, and it also does a 2.25 by 1.95 box also. So you've got two different box sizes in there, which is fantastic. And again, well, the box on its own should be $29.99 or $39.99. You're paying way less than that before your Club Inspired Platinum discount comes off of there too. And this incredible paper pad is one of my absolute faves. It is incredible. You've got loads of awesome sheets in there. My all-time favourite paper pad sheet is in here. Oh, there it is. Let me go back to that because I need you to see it. How gorgeous is that? I just love it. It's like one of those lovely summer night skies that we get now that the weather is improving a little. If you do want to grab it, absolutely do. Get yourself over to the website, craftscompanion.co.uk.au, watch and shop at the same time. Just click that shop the show button, which is awesome. I know you've got a few things you want to share with us on this though, Craig.
I do, yeah, just a bit shorter time to actually run one through, but this is just to let you see it's the double-sided hexagon box. So what you're able to do is create a box and a lid all in one. So there is a smaller one, but you maybe want to elongate the edges, so you can do that one here. You've got a little one as well that you can use, and then another one as well, just elongating it. If I bring this one in, adding gems and pearls, and I'll give you a quick idea as to what I was going to do. I created one of the boxes, and this is just using canary yellow Centura Pearl. Using our hexagon die, I've used some of the blue Centura Pearl. Using the next layer down, I've taken one of the pattern papers, and then using our penny slider die stamps, I stamped the stars on the paper pad, coloured it in, then I brought in one of the rockets from also the penny sliders just to stick on the top there, and that would be a nice little gift box that you could be popping, I don't know, bits and pieces into the middle here. But a really good set to have.
Absolutely, don't miss out on those. They are on a fantastic deal for you as well. £22 or $28 to get your hands on those. Lots of you have commented during the show, which is fantastic because every single one of you that does, don't forget, you're going to be entered into our National Craft Month giveaway, which is absolutely fantastic. So someone will be winning this absolute bounty of goodies, which is fantastic. All you need to do is comment whether you do that over on YouTube or you do that across on Facebook. It's completely up to you, but we'll have one lucky winner, which we'll draw in our 7 p.m. Monday Makers show this evening. That will be, of course, 2 p.m. if you are across on the East Coast. Craig, it's been a fabulous wake-up call this morning, hasn't it?
Been really good for you, isn't it? Yeah, it's been a nice way to actually spend a Monday, kickstart the Monday anyway. So as Joe's just alluded to throughout that part there, as well as throughout the show, we've got a launch party coming up, launch day even, coming up later on today. And then after that, we've got Monday Makers, which is going to close out the day on Crafters TV. But then don't fear, what you can do is you can always go back and watch previous shows on YouTube as well as our website. Always go across onto YouTube and subscribe, and that way you'll always get the alert to say that we're going live, or maybe any videos that also go up. All that's to say is, well, goodbye from me, but not for long. I'll be back later on tonight for Monday Makers. Joe will be back just shortly with Sarah and that incredible launch day. But then we will be back later on tomorrow, but please, 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 can I just say that this is uber, oh gosh, yeah, please check out your basket, certainly for that Sarah Signature collection, but any extras that you want, as well as anything that you've seen throughout the show, whether it's highlighting today's shows or the Craft Vault shows, check out your basket, that way they're guaranteed on their way to you. But until later on tonight, we will then see you again, same time tomorrow with myself and Joe for Wake Up Call with Craig. See you later, bye.